You start from question 2. I'll just start from 1.
Can you briefly explain exactly what leptin is and what role it plays in controlling or regulating our weight?
Yeah, leptin is a substance produced by the adipose tissue or fat cells of the body. People generally would like to refer to leptin as a hormone, which it is, but I would like to call it a substance because calling it a hormone tends to limit its function to mainly endocrine, like many other hormones. Leptin is, however, different because it is involved in both the endocrine and immune functions, making the adipose tissue an immunoendocrine organ. Let us start by considering leptin as a hormone produced by the adipose tissue into the general circulation. Its presence will therefore be felt by every cell of the body, but will elicit an action only in organs where there are leptin receptors, like the brain. Leptin basically gets the brain to send out a signal to the body to stop eating, as well as burn off the energy that is stored in fat cells, bringing about weight loss. On the other hand, obesity is associated with low-grade generalized inflammation, with leptin considered as a pro-inflammatory factor because it regulates the production of pro-inflammatory cytokines such as TNF-alpha and interleukin 1 and 6.
From my understanding, one of the reasons people gain weight and have so much problem losing weight is leptin resistance. Can you explain exactly what leptin resistance is and how it makes losing weight so difficult?
Now, when people get fat, the number of fat cells in their bodies increase. Since fat cells produce leptin, the more fat cells there are in the body, the more leptin is going to be produced. These high levels of leptin coming from the adipose tissue and arriving the brain on a fairly permanent basis makes it impossible for the brain to continue sending out the appropriate signal. This is generally referred to as leptin resistance. The result of this is lack of the signal to stop eating or using up any energy that has been stored in fat cells. This obviously prevents the person from losing weight.
According to our research, one of the primary causes of leptin resistance is inflammation, specifically inflammation caused by eating processed foods with additives and preservatives. Is this accurate, and how does inflammation actually contribute to leptin resistance?
Yeah, processed foods, additives, and preservatives cause the release of cytokines that cause inflammation. These cytokines also increase the synthesis and release of leptin, which in turn perpetuates the loop of chronic inflammation as is seen in obesity. The more the adipose tissue, therefore, the more the circulation of leptin, causing an increase in inflammation. Furthermore, studies have shown that induction of inflammation in the hypothalamus results in experimental obesity, resistance to leptin, peripheral insulin resistance, as well as a defective regulation in food intake and energy expenditure.
From my understanding, there are certain foods that can help naturally lower inflammation. Specifically, green tea and chili peppers, both containing antioxidants that help lower inflammation, and both of these ingredients are found in petrogen. Shale, the lead formula for our ingredients, has confirmed that the other active ingredients in petrogen, aside from melatonin, also help reduce inflammation. So my question is, the ingredients in petrogen reduce inflammation so the brain can detect leptin again. Is this accurate?
Yeah, this is accurate. Obesity is linked to oxidative stress in a kind of egg-chicken relationship, with oxidative stress being a risk factor of obesity, while obesity is accompanied by oxidative stress. Consumption of antioxidant supplemented foods is believed to decrease leptin release and contribute to an obesogenic environment. This aspect sheds some new critical light on the potential role of an antioxidant enriched nutrition in the obesity epidemic during the past few centuries. Two of the ingredients used in tetragen, diglomera and CQR300, are known to be antioxidants as well as possess anti-inflammatory properties.
So, once the brain can properly detect leptin again, what effects can people expect?
Well, once the brain can properly detect leptin again, the body regains its ability to control food intake and keep low-grade inflammation in check.
Okay, so leptin resistance leads us to overeat. And overeating is a big factor in chronically elevating levels of insulin and high blood sugar levels. So by reducing inflammation, the ingredients in tetragen help the brain properly detect leptin, which reduces overeating and also helps lower insulin and blood sugar levels since people are no longer overeating. Is this accurate?
Yeah, this is accurate. The body's ability to control its eating obviously lowers the adipose tissue stores, restoring the proper functioning of insulin and consequently the control of blood sugar levels.
Let's say someone drinks green tea every day on top of taking tetragen. Since green tea helps reduce inflammation, will drinking it each day help lower inflammation levels faster and help people see results even faster?
Yeah, drinking green tea every day on top of tetragen is not likely to provide any extra benefits in terms of reducing inflammation, since tetragen has antioxidants as well as anti-inflammatory properties. At the same time, very rapid weight loss as well as rapid alteration of the body's metabolism is not generally advisable.
What is the realistic expectation of when people can see reduction in body fat that is based on their BMI baseline? What I'm trying to say is if you can explain so people can work out where they are and what is the realistic goal for them. For instance, BMI index 40, bad diet lasts 15 years. Expectation of reverting leptin resistance, let's say 6 weeks, decline in cravings 7 weeks, something along that line.
Every individual is different, and the time they will require to have their leptin clock reset to normal functioning will vary. 4 to 6 weeks is, however, the time frame when changes become noticeable for overweight people, with obese people taking a bit longer. We have to bear in mind that tetragen is trying to reverse conditions that have been in place and existed in the body for very, very many years.
And lastly, can you provide some guidelines or tips, very quick, to what sort of diet you would recommend beyond that which we've preached already, that's high proteins, low carbs?
Eat as many colors as you can to ensure an appropriate intake of micronutrients.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you.